Hey everyone, and welcome to the What's New in aXcelerate webinar for April 2025, where we talk about some of the exciting things that we've released in the last quarter and some of the things that we're going to give you a sneak peek for that are coming up. Just as a quick introduction, my name is Brendan. I'm a senior product manager with aXcelerate.
I'm Shannon. I'm a product manager at aXcelerate as well, looking after the LMS feature.
So the agenda that we're going to talk about today is basically what's been released new in 2025 so far. We're going to go over the new navigation. We're going to talk about AI help, and then Shannon's going to talk about some new assessment authoring. We're going to let you know how to try out our open beta features so you can get your hands on the stuff that we're looking to release soon before anyone else. And then lastly, we're going to go into a quick Q&A session, and we'll try and answer your questions. So more on that in a bit. We are missing a housekeeping slide. Do you want to just talk about it?
All good. So just some general info. We will be recording this session today, so you can rewatch it in your own time or pass it on to a colleague who might also benefit from it. And feel free to use the Q&A section in your chat below. And at the end, like Brendan just mentioned, we'll have some answers at the end, and our lovely support team will be answering as they go as well.
Cool. Thanks, Shannon. So I'm jumping in straight away with the new navigation. This is by far going to be one of the kind of biggest shifts for how you use aXcelerate on a day-to-day basis. And I'm really excited about it. It's a more modern navigation menu that's really been designed in response to a lot of feedback from our customers in terms of wanting a new, more streamlined, more user-friendly navigation system. The idea behind this navigation is that we want to continue to support the number of system areas that aXcelerate has, which is ever increasing as we add more functionality to the platform. So navigation itself, it's a critical high impact area for us to transform. If you attended aXcelerate Day last year, this is going to be a little bit familiar to you, but I'm looking forward to showing off a live demo in just a second. So with the navigation, you can see we're giving it a completely new look, literally from top to bottom. We're changing it from a horizontal menu to a vertical menu. And the goals here are to make it easy to find what you're looking for. We have a lot more space to have menu items with the vertical menu. It's going to make it easier for you to train new staff in how to use aXcelerate. It should be much easier for them to find their way more easily. And as I mentioned, gives us the space to support our growing system functionality. So with the new navigation, our goal is to really ease you into this change. It's now currently available for you to try out under your user menu if you'd like to give it a try now. We'll be communicating more over time about the kind of cutoff dates and the wider releases of this new navigation. The navigation is available for admins, trainers, and partners. And as I said, available right now for you to try under your user menu. To give you a kind of a sneak peek of one of what we think is a really key feature of the new navigation, we're introducing this quick search ability, which I'll show off in a second. But the idea here is from a keyboard shortcut or right from the search bar in the navigation menu, you can really quickly and easily find exactly what you're looking for, whether that's a navigation menu item or a contact. I'll get into this a little bit more in a sec. And then as part of this quick search, we're also introducing a new AI help feature where you can really quickly and easily ask an AI for instructions on how to use different system areas with an aXcelerate, and it can come analyze your question and then give you an answer right then and there in the navigation. So I guess without further ado, I'll jump across to the new navigation in action. So you can see here, a lot of the design thinking here was having your account at the top to kind of set the scene for what all of these things underneath are related to. And this is going to be really beneficial for people with multiple accounts, where whenever you change an account here, all of these kind of things will change based on the account that you're in. So it kind of just makes logical sense to have that here. We've also got this collapse and expand functionality. So if you need more horizontal screen real estate to fit everything in the view, then you can collapse the navigation. It'll also automatically collapse on some screens where we think you might just automatically need some more horizontal screen real estate. I'm going to keep it open for now. We've moved a lot of the kind of new items up here. So if you need to create a new thing, contacts, workshops, classes, you now have a really easy way to do that. And then the one below that is probably the feature I'm most excited about. It's this quick search. So you can see here there's a keyboard shortcut as well, but if you click this, it brings up this quick search functionality. And then if I want to search for, say, Mark, this could mean a couple different things. This could be marking navigation menu items, or it could be a contact that you want to find. We combine both searches into the one thing. And then the idea is as you type, it'll narrow down the search, and you can hit enter or return on your keyboard or click just to really easily get to where you're trying to go. So as an example, I'll start that again and just type Mark G, hit enter, and I go straight to this contact profile. And if I want to go back to my dashboard, Command K or Control K on a Windows computer, dash, and then go down, enter. Very easy and quick to navigate just using your keyboard. Makes it getting around super fast. We've also made a few changes to some of these menu items, including bringing help requests up to the top level. Help requests is such a useful feature. We really want to draw a lot more attention to it in the app. We've split out some of these things into their own menu items. So previously it would be under courses. Now there's a separate menu item for workshops, classes, and learning down there. And you can see when I open this, we have this kind of accordion menu. And what this is really useful for, and what will especially be really useful for in the future, is whenever you're working within an area of aXcelerate, this menu will stay open and let you easily navigate between different parts of the system. And we're planning on expanding this in the future to make it a lot more useful to go from, for example, upcoming workshops to past workshops to current workshops, easy to get around the system wherever area of the platform that you're working within. A few other changes, we brought out work-based learning. There's this new kind of beta marking area here. And then quality and surveys have also been split out into their respective menu items. Calendar is now down here for quick access to the calendar. There's a little navigation guide here too that will just give you a little bit of a walkthrough for the new navigation if you're looking for just a reminder, quick, easy steps to kind of learn the new navigation. One thing I really want to encourage, though, is if you try the new navigation and you have thoughts, feelings, ideas for how we can improve it, things you maybe don't like as much, please give feedback here. It'll open up a link to a feedback form where you can give the navigation a rating and then give us some qualitative feedback as well. We really appreciate all the feedback that you all provide, both for things like this with the forms and also the ideas form. So please keep that coming. And then the other thing to note is just your user menu, instead of being at the top right, is now all the way down here. And this is where you access things like logging out, getting to your contact profile, that kind of thing. Notifications as well is down here next to the user menu for quick and easy access. Before I go, I'm just going to show a quick demo of the AI help. So if I say something like, how do I create a contact? And then ask the AI assistant. What this does is it uses the same AI assistant that our help staff are using to answer your questions when you talk to them in aXcelerate. So here it's got a quick guide for how to create a contact in aXcelerate. It can do this for any of the system areas we have covered in our knowledge base. And you can click through to find out more with this kind of resources section down here. So it's a really quick and easy way. If you're stuck on something, you want to remember how to do something, you can really easily ask an AI for help. With that, I'm going to move on to just covering a few more of the AI features that we're talking about. So one of the things that is seeing a ton of usage in our system is the AI marking assistant. What this is for any short answer question that you have in an assessment, we can take the learner submission and then compare it to a model answer using AI. And the AI returns a suggestion for both the suggested mark for that question, but also a suggested response for that learner in order to improve their knowledge and get them to kind of a more satisfactory mark. So it's as simple as marking it when marking a short answer question, you'll see an option to generate an AI marking suggestion, and then you can copy the feedback to the feedback. The important thing to note here is that we don't automatically do anything. Everything is still fully within the trainer's control. All we're doing here with the AI is providing a suggestion, and it should help cut down on a lot of time marking questions. We're currently marking over 10,000 questions every week using this feature. We've got over 50 customers actively marking questions, and we would love to see more of you using it because it's such a time saver. So definitely reach out for how to access this feature. And then last thing for me is AI question generation. And this is a really cool one where if you are currently using kind of PDF-based assessments, we have this really easy way to turn those PDF-based assessments into aXcelerate assessments, where you can just upload the PDF or copy and paste text, and our AI will dynamically take that content and turn it into aXcelerate assessments. It at least gives you a fantastic head start on creating assessments within aXcelerate, so real big time saver there. With that, I'm going to pass it off to Shannon.
Thanks, Brendan. So I'll be talking about the new assessment authoring. Thanks, Brendan. So I'll be talking about the new assessment authoring. You will all be, I'm sure, very familiar with the assessment authoring feature that we used to have. We've completely rebuilt and revamped this feature. Our main goals here were to make it more intuitive to use, faster to build those assessments, and to make it more reliable for you. And that's from both a data point of view and a compliance point of view, and you'll find out soon why. All right, so we've rebuilt the entire system, like I just mentioned, and you can see already that the UI is much more clean. It's keeping the main things in the main view, so it's less cluttered, more responsive, which you can see from this little GIF here. As you're trying to do two things at once, which I'm sure a lot of you are, you're keeping the main thing in that view as well. We've also got a new side navigation, which I'll show in a second, and improved validation. A big feature that we've added to the assessment authoring experience is autosave as well. All right, I'm going to demo now. So this is a assessment that I've started authoring, and you'll notice that the side navigation is new. So this means that you can really easily drag and drop between different assessment items, meaning you can kind of keep the main thing to the side and really move different items between sections, and you can also move between sections as well, which is pretty cool. We've also added the ability to easily delete and duplicate items as well, and that's just using this side button here. We've also got autosave, which you'll see up here. So if I'm editing content as I go, content is being saved.
It's correct content.
Thanks. So that's to avoid any data loss. We've also got new changes coming out this afternoon in our release, and that's going to make the autosave feature that little bit more reliable. And just a side note that we are still looking at improving this feature. Something that we're aware of is if you accidentally deleted something, autosave will obviously save that delete, and you can't currently undo that. So that is something on our mind and something that we are working on. But rest assured, this afternoon's release does have some improvements to that autosave functionality. We've also got improved validation, which I mentioned earlier, and we can see that in a question here, for example, where I haven't actually added any content or a title. And what it's doing is kind of letting me know before I start saving that assessment. So it's saying your question must have content, and the image that I provided, which is none, is invalid. And what that's trying to do is keep you all compliant and keep you only publishing assessments that are actually ready to go. So hopefully that is nice and clear and keeping you compliant. Another example is another item type, and it's saying that you must have content, and my answer must exist. Something else that I don't believe is new, but just something to mention, is it's really easy to access those question banks as well. Which question did I use? So this is a question that I've got currently in other assessments, and I can easily drag and drop and enter in questions from other assessments to kind of reuse those quick questions that are common. That makes sense for a lot of RTOs that have common questions that are in a multitude of assessments, and it will be really, really easy and quick to build new assessments. How many times can I use the word assessment in one sentence?
Question banks is such a useful feature though.
Yeah, exactly. We've also added a couple of new item types. So one of those, actually, I'm going to go back here. So I've made a little GIF. So we've got one called image annotation. So you can add an image, and this is just used for delivering content. So really great for visual learners like myself. And you can add an image and pick different options so that your learners can actually click on that image and learn as they go. So it might be an image of the Olympic rings. I actually have that somewhere, ring colors. So what I've done here, for example, is taught my learners all of the different colors and what they represent in the Olympic rings. So this content is not a marked question, it's just for delivering information. So really, really cool. And we also have video recording. So this offers learners to record themselves videoing, and it doesn't allow learners to actually upload themselves. Sorry, reframing. It doesn't allow learners to pre-record a video, so they've got to do it on the spot. And this encourages retention from your learners and encouraging them to actually answer something on the spot and really testing their knowledge. So the great thing is that learners do get multiple turns, so they do get a few tries if they have too many ums or buts, but they can't like pre-record and upload a video.
This could also, video recording could be a really good way to kind of mitigate the kind of using an AI to cheat on tests kind of situation too.
Exactly, exactly. I also see a lot of like first aid courses, for example, using this question type for those practical assessments. So it means that you could do more things remotely, but still test those like more practical skills via video, which is really cool. The third little added feature that we've got is the AI item generation for titles, and that's what you can see in this GIF here. So I might have gone, created a question, or AI might have created my question, and I've edited it slightly. And all I've got to do is add a title to this item. I can click that little button and it will create a title for me from AI. If I don't quite like it, I can edit it, or I can click that button again and it's going to generate a whole new question, a whole new title for me as well. So plenty of options to try and speed up your assessment creation. Awesome. All right, coming up on what is next, we've got a few new features on our mind and on our roadmap, starting with learner onboarding. So the purpose of learner onboarding is to increase and really make the quality of enrollment details that learners are entering in, making them more compliant and also speeding up that process as well. So the idea is that it's collecting this information from learners on their enrollment before they actually start learning, and it's pushing that to the learner so that it's like less admin burden for all of our busy compliance and trainers. So it's reducing that upfront friction by not giving them a 10-page PDF document to fill out before they've even paid for a course and before they even start learning, but it's still making sure that those key bits are included and collected upfront before a learner starts learning. We really understand that first impressions matter with UI as well. So you'll notice that this looks really great and it's a much nicer experience for learners than a PDF document or a piece of paper. The cool thing as well that we've added here is a status. So you can see and get visibility and insight into how your learners are progressing as they're enrolling. And the idea here is you can see who's maybe started their enrollment, who has finished their enrollment forms, and who's ready to start actually learning. And the idea here is that you can chase up those learners, maybe unblock them, give them a helping hand, to try and increase your leads and make sure that you close all of those learners, because we know that that's really important. So this is a little insight screenshot into what that form builder looks like. You'll notice it's really similar to the assessment authoring experience that I just demoed earlier. You've got that side navigation, works the exact same where you can drag and drop between sections, and you've also got multiple sections in between steps as well. So you're not just giving a learner 50 questions, well, you could, but maybe don't. You can split it up into steps so that there's less load on your learner, but you're still making sure that you collect everything you need to. So you might want to split this out into personal details up front, start nice and easy, and then start collecting things like portfolio items and documents, which might be a driver's license or a blue card or anything that you need to stay compliant and to collect from your learners. You've also got the option to add mandatory or optional fields, and you apply these forms to courses or qualifications as well. The great thing that I personally love is that it auto-fills a lot of information if the contact is already not in aXcelerate. So again, speeding up that process for the learner and reducing duplications for admins. So I really love this feature. There's heaps more to come, but yeah, really speeding up that enrollment process.
I love the idea of just making the enrollment process so much less overwhelming.
Yes.
With the end goal of just helping our training organizations increase their enrollments.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Keeping you compliant is always a priority, but also reducing that load on learners is a priority. And I think that this does that. This is a little screenshot insight into what that might look like for a learner, depending on how you choose to configure your form. The key thing here is that the course is not available until your learner has finished that form. So you're making sure to almost like gatekeep the learning until the learner has started and completed that enrollment. So auto like redirects the learner to that form in their learner portal. And like I mentioned earlier, it loads those existing details in the pre-loaded form.
Super handy.
Yeah. And down the left-hand side, you can see those different steps that you've created when editing it as well. Cool. How do you get your hands on it? So it's currently in open beta. You can scan this QR code now if you'd like, and that will take you to a form to sign up. So it's available to all customers currently, and we can turn it on for your staging environment now, with a general release expected later this month. So really excited about that. If you'd like to have a bit of a look around and have a bit of a play, see how it could work for your organization now, you can.
Really encourage you all to get involved in these open beta features because your feedback quite literally helps shape the future of aXcelerate. So this is your chance to kind of get involved and help see what you want to see in the product. Great. Okay, so now we're moving on to the question period. I can see that there's one for me there. Do you want to read that out?
Yeah, so if you have several RTOs under your name, how do you swap between the different RTO under the new navigation system?
Yep, great question. So that's the same thing up here. This is the account switcher up here. So this will show all the RTOs that you have access to, and you can use this account switcher up here to switch between them.
Great. Super easy.
It looks like that's the only question so far. We'll just give it a few more minutes. I can see there was one there about cutoff date to transition to the new navigation. We're still working on this, and we're definitely going to give you plenty of notice before the transition time. So keep an eye on your emails and in-app notifications. That's where we're going to be doing a lot of our communication there.
I see one about AI marking with multi-response areas. Great question. This is something on my mind as well, and something that we're looking at because it feels like a natural progression personally for the AI marking assistant. We just need to work out with multiple answers, whether that's introducing something like a model answer, for example, but on my mind.
And then with the multi-short answer question type that was discussed at aXcelerate Day last year, the form style submission, we will answer that separately. We might have to chase up some more information on that, and we'll get back to you separately on that one. Mobile-friendly admin view, I see a question coming in about that. We are continually working on making the aXcelerate admin view a lot more responsive. So as we improve different areas of the system, responsiveness is going to be a key consideration for us, including for mobile devices. So we're slowly working towards it. We
can walk.
We can walk towards it. Yeah, and just keep an eye out for updates there, and you'll probably find that it just gradually over time gets more and more mobile responsive. Okay, just looking through some more questions.
Oh, I see people signing up for our beta.
Great. Keep it coming. Okay, so there's a question asking about time frame for the form builder.
All within the next financial year. So everything is coming out. The general release for what I kind of just demoed with learner onboarding, expected to be later this month. But yeah, like I said, if you'd like access on staging now, fill out that form and I'll get it turned on for you.
There's a question, will the new interface be launched to all users in our company at the same time? So right now, the way we're doing the new navigation is that each individual user can turn it on for just themselves to try it out. If you as an organization admin want to have the new navigation forced on for everyone in your organization, that's definitely a functionality that we can enable for you. Just reach out to our support team and we can make that happen.
Does the learner onboarding information auto update on their aXcelerate contact profile? Yes, and that's why we're reducing that double handling and making sure that duplicates don't occur as well. So yes, everything feeds together.
I see a question about the old navigation showing the user's date of birth when searching for their name. I can look into this. It's definitely something that I can see the benefit for, and stay tuned for that. And again, I really encourage you to submit your feedback under that feedback item in the new navigation, because that's going to be our kind of where we derive a lot of our improvements from. Someone else is saying that they don't have help requests in the navigation bar. In the old navigation bar, I believe that's under contacts. In the new navigation bar, it should have its own menu item. And if you don't see it, reach out to support. It could be that feature is not enabled for your account.
It makes so much more sense to me now. Sometimes I'll be switching between the old and the new navigation. I'm like, where is it?
Yeah, it's such a useful feature to just stay in
Have it up
contact and let learners reach out and ask questions directly from the learner portal.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Is there a way to filter via class, not student, when looking at marking assessment? For any widget dashboard questions, I encourage you to submit that to support. There's a question about vet-related items in the form builder.
So it collects things like USI and it collects portfolio documents, so that will all feed in as well.
There's a question about video recording as well. Will the video recording feature allow the learner to click a button to record themselves, and the video uploaded automatically into the portal?
Should we go have a look? That's a really great question. Oh, hang on. I didn't give my caveat that I've been at aXcelerate for 2 months, so there's a lot of things that I don't know, but thank you for being patient. All right, I can't even publish it. I know that you can upload the thing, but I think you can, but I will get back to you just so that I make sure that I'm communicating the correct thing.
There is image annotation is for learning content only, but just to clarify, the live video recording is for actual assessments.
Yes, correct.
Cool. For a lot of these questions, we're going to be relying on support to answer. I'm just seeing, is AI marking currently available in staging or live? So AI marking is currently available if you if your contract enables us to provide kind of AI beta features to you. For more information, reach out to support. And if you don't have the AI features enabled, we should be able to get you hooked up with that if your contract supports it. Okay, still a few questions coming in. Give it another minute or so. Does the learner onboarding info auto update their aXcelerate contact profile? Yeah. I believe that's true. Yes. QR code again. Someone's asking to see the QR code.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, again, can't emphasize enough how important it is to get involved in these beta programs, provide us feedback. It really helps us make the product the best it possibly can be to suit your needs. So the more feedback we get, the better product we can build. Anywhere close to AI marking for video submissions? This is not something that's currently on our radar, but it's definitely something that would be interesting. Yeah. I would encourage you to submit that as an idea to the ideas forum, just to see if anyone else is also interested in that feature. And then through the kind of natural upvoting system in the ideas forum, that can potentially become a thing.
It also helps when we see how often different assessment items are used. So if we notice that the video type is being used a lot, then that kind of drives that incentive to create new ways to mark that as well.
Cool. All right, well, it seems like the questions are starting to taper off a bit. We'll still have some people monitoring questions as we go. I'm just seeing, I feel like that's more of a support question. So we might end it there. I'm looking at our director here.
For the questions that we didn't get to as well, support will respond, or one of us as well. So thank you for being patient.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you all so much for joining. Really appreciate all the support for this What's New webinar. Lovely to see everyone here, and we look forward to seeing you again in the next one. And again, if you have any questions in the meantime, you know where we live.
Thanks, everyone.
Enjoy your day. Bye.